All right, everybody, welcome in. After the warm-up, this class has 3 sections. We do core, followed by arms, followed by legs. So our first circuit is core, second circuit arms, third circuit legs. Enjoy the class and let me know what you think afterward. Leave a comment. We'll see ya. Shaking out the arms, shaking out the legs. Let's get warmed up. Rolling the wrists. Bend and extend the elbows, and you gotta be warm to exercise, right? Definitely want all the muscles primed, all the soft tissues ready for movement. Rolling the shoulders up, back, and down. I'm getting little pops. That one was so loud you might have heard it. I don't know. And switch directions, up, forward, and down. As long as they're not too painful though, right? Fight through fatigue, but don't push through pain. All right, turning the head left and right, rotating the neck, gentle movement, especially as we get started. And eyes forward, nice wide feet, sink down, not a deep squat, but just so that the knees are bent, and we're not gonna twist them. We're gonna rotate from the waist up to get the spine moving left and right. I like to bring my fists together, but you can do palms or just swing the arms like we do in our Qigong classes, Qigong. Those classes, by the way, are really good for recovery to help with getting back to exercise within, a week, so that you can exercise sooner, get the blood flow, get the lactic acid through the body, right? Helps with recovery to do some of those softer classes. All right, and feet come closer together. Circles with the hips. Circles with the hips. And switch directions. Low marching with the knees. Low marching, low marching. And this is to wake up the hip flexors here. All right, let's start jogging in place, jogging, trotting, moving. Getting the heart rate up a little bit, really getting the blood flowing through the body. And getting ready to go. I will use some weights in this class. I'll use light weights. If you've got heavier weights, then great, but they may only be appropriate for certain exercises. A lot of what we do is body weight. As you guys know, if you've been in the other classes, right, we use the wall sometimes, we use a chair. Use what you have. All right, arms come out to the sides, T-shaped arms. I'm gonna keep on jogging here. Like I'm flying around, airplane style, right? And side jacks. Tap the toe out as the arms come up. I'd call them sloppy side jacks because I'm bending my elbows. Just softly tossing the hands up. Really not stiff arms. If your arms are stiff, I worry about the shoulders a little bit there. And this isn't for strength or mobility, right? This is just for getting everything ready. And we're almost there. All right, you can add punching if you want. Punching straight forward as you step. Reaching up, high knee pull down. Give it a good exhale and squeeze the core as the knee rises. Right? You don't have to reach that high. It could be a slow, or not a slow, it could be slow. It could be a low reach. Right? Listen to your body. Modify anything that you need to modify. Change a move. If I'm on the ground and that's a no-go for you today, that's okay. You can skip the floor exercises. You can skip the standing exercises. Skip whatever you need to. Take as many breaks as you need. And if I'm talking too much and you're ready to keep on moving, even skip my breaks, right? So take more breaks than me or less breaks than me. Make this class all about you, because it is. All right, we're ready for our first circuit here. First circuit, number 1, is a core circuit, okay? We're gonna get stomach, abdominals and some low back stuff going on in our core circuit. So our first move, planks. I like to start with planks every week. It gets the spine primed, nice isometric hold, good squeezing move. So planks at the wall look like this, nice tight core, a fairly straight line from the heels, hips, shoulders, and ears. Squeezing the abdominals. We just don't want to droop down at the waist. Fairly straight line. If you choose the floor, looks like this. You could also come down to your elbows if you prefer, right? It's even lower. My favorite is to do this at a chair, like this. Nice tight core, lined up. If you need a break, you don't have to last the whole minute. That's okay. Listen to your body, listen to how much energy you have, and let's get started here. 1 minute timer. Go ahead. There we go. Nice tight core. Fairly straight line. If you come up with your bottom, it's a little bit less effective, but at least it's safe, right? If you need to rest, sometimes I do that. But otherwise, fairly straight line is better. Eyes should look down at the chair, not left and right. Down at the floor or down at the wall, whatever your hands are on. So that you're not hurting your neck to look at me. All right, this is move number 1 for our first circuit. Almost done here. All right, coming on out of that. Move number 2. This is an oblique move. Elbows out to the sides, elbow toward opposite knee, squeezing the core as we kind of crunch there at a diagonal. You can also bring your forearms kind of in front of your face and crunch left and right as you bring the knees up. Give it a good exhale as you squeeze, okay? So exhale, 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 or elbows might be out. Exhale, exhale. You can also face a wall and have a hand on the wall if that helps with balance a little bit, okay? So diagonals here. Here's our timer. Go slow enough to where you can get a breath and then get a good exhale. Breathing. Good work, good work. Our next move will include either a little bit of resistance or be on the ground, okay? And we won't use a weight for the resistance. It'll just be your own body for our next move. Squeeze the core, rotating, a little bit of twist. So I'll give you a few options for our next move. And this is move number 2 out of 4, by the way, for our first circuit. There's our timer. Shaking it out. Here's our third move for this circuit. Push down against the knee that rises. So we're marching against resistance. So we push down like that, like that. As the knee rises, push down against it. You are your own resistance. You can also do this in a chair, like that. Works great. As intentional as you can be with the squeeze. If you would like to get on the floor, okay, and this is move number 3. Our fourth move will also be optionally on the floor. If you'd like to get on the floor, it might look like this. Feet are down, knees are up. Head back, one hand over the other, and we just do push throughs, okay? So push in between the legs with a little crunch here. Shoulder blades come up off the ground. It's not a full sit-up. Like, don't swing like this. Don't swing to sit up. Instead, just a little exhale as we push, okay? Here's our 1 minute timer. Like I've said, you're always welcome to get going ahead of me. If you kind of know a move that you like, you can get started. All right, this is move number 3 out of 4. Our fourth move, right? Still stick with intentionality here, right? Still squeeze the core and give it a good exhale. Try to get all the air out. That'll help. Our next move will be an optional floor move or standing move. You can choose between floor superheroes, Superman, Superwoman, whatever you choose, on the floor on your stomach, or standing, we'll do kettlebell swings, and this will get a little bit of the rest of the core, right? Not just the abdominals, but the low back as well. Squeezing. Good work. Okay, so here's a couple of options. Either you're on the floor, on your stomach, like this. I gotta move my chair out of the way here. Okay. Shoulders up off the ground, legs are straight, and the knees and toes come off the ground as well, which makes your low back contract, possibly even the glutes a little bit. I like to bring my hands out to the sides. Some people push them forward, but my shoulders don't really love that. So I just bring my hands out to the sides and off the mat, off the floor. Nose stays down. I don't want to look left and right here. And you can even flutter kick. You can pedal like you're swimming the river with your legs, okay? So flutter kick if you like, or just place and hold, squeezing those low back muscles, okay, for the back end of the core, okay? Or kettlebell swings, which look like this. I hold one weight. I would recommend a light weight, especially if it's fairly new to you. Nice wide feet. Sternum points forward the whole time. The spine should be vertical. It's not a tipping forward type of squat, okay? Sink down, swing forward. Sink down, swing forward. There should be mostly control with a touch of momentum. Give it a good exhale as you swing up. Tightening the core. When you swing up, don't come any higher than the height of the shoulders. So here's the max you would want to come up, but partial range of motion is just fine for this move. Just like this. Okay, everything has to tighten in order for your spine to stay vertical. So you decide if you do that one or the one on the floor. I'm going to do the standing one for now. Here's our timer. 1 minute's counting down. And if you started a minute ago and you're getting 2 minutes in, then good for you. That's fine. Nice wide feet, sink down, and swing. Looks like this. Okay, and I'm going in slow motion just to demonstrate, but normally I speed it up just a little bit with a little bit of control, squeezing the core. I should say a lot of bit of control. I said a little bit. A lot of control and a little bit of momentum. Okay, this is move number 4 out of 4, which means our circuit first round is over. We'll continue those same 4 moves, starting with the plank right after this. If you're already on the floor, you're welcome to do the floor plank if you like. There we go. I'm going to set this aside. If you're on the floor, take your time getting up if you want to. But again, you could do the plank on the floor or the chair or the wall. It looks like this. Nice tight core. I'm going to start our timer. Take your time getting there. Round 2 will be a little bit quicker, less break time in between each, because we already know the moves. Squeezing. The heels don't have to touch the ground. It's not a range of motion test. It's not a stretch for the calves. It's about the stomach muscles here. Give it a good exhale. Breathing. Straight spine. Tuck the chin back. Eyes should be down on the chair, down on the floor, or down on the wall. After this is our oblique, our diagonal move with a little bit of twist. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Almost done. Take breaks if you need them. All right, coming up out of that. So here it is. Elbows could be out, squeeze as the knees rise, and we rotate. Or your forearms could be forward, and we're still kind of turning, crunching left and right. Okay, here's our timer. Ready, go. I just thought, if you're already on the ground, by the way, keep going there. If you were already on the ground, you could always do this move and not get up at all, right? If you did the plank on the floor, you could go left and right with the knees, or do like a bicycle, kind of a diagonal rotation there with the core. For future reference, if you do this same workout in the future, you could always do that one on the floor. All right, still going here. Diagonals, squeezing. After this, we've got pushing down, or marching against our own resistance, or getting on the floor and doing push-throughs. Okay, so here's the march against our own resistance. The knee comes up and we push down. Knee comes up where we push down. Same thing can be done in the chair. If you're on the floor, it looks like this. Nice wide feet. Pushing between the legs. Okay, and you might change up how you do it, and I'll show you how I could do it in just a second. Here's our timer. Okay, so continuously squeezing is an option, where you just hold right here and you give some good exhales. Go. And then you'll have to take a deep breath at some point. Exhale. Or continuously moving is an option. Or a combination where you hold, 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 and then come down. Hold, 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 and then come down. So play with that. And funny enough, you don't want to do the one you like the most. You want to do the one that's the most challenging, probably. All right. If you're standing, you're marching against your own resistance, pushing down with the hands. Okay, keep going there. Our next two moves, if you're on the floor, you can stay there and do that Superman thing, Superwoman thing, superhero thing. If you're standing, you can do the kettlebell swings. Nice tight core, swinging forward, sinking down. The sternum stays pointed forward, shoulders are back, chest up, nice and tall. Don't swing any higher than the height of the shoulders. I'm going to get back down to the floor to do the superhero ones, because I didn't do it last time, so I'm switching it up for demonstration. Here we go. Timer's going. Feet come up off the ground, knees are up off the ground, shoulders up off the ground. Hands can be up off the ground over at the sides. They could be forward, but I don't love that for my shoulders. I prefer out to the sides. I'm pedaling my feet because I like movement. But if you just want to place and hold, that's fine as well. A little more isometric. Nose should be down if you're on the floor. Right? If you're standing doing kettlebell swings or elephant trunks, your nose should be straight forward with your sternum. And this is move number 4 out of 4 for our first circuit, second round. Take a brief break after this and we'll be on to another body part. Great work, everybody. Whew. All right, coming up. Slow and steady. There's our timer. If you don't want to break, then keep on jogging. That's fine. I'm going to get a sip of water here. While you guys are going there, think about whether or not these exercises are entirely accessible for you. Because if they're not, I'd like to offer more modifications. So if you are not able to do a certain move, go ahead and write a comment below so that I know whether or not to include other exercises for you specifically. Thank you. Next up, it's going to be shoulders, biceps, and then shoulders again, but a different part of the shoulders, okay? So in the end, we will have done 2 rounds of this, and it'll get the shoulders a little bit more than biceps, but it's upper body in general, okay? So we're giving our core a bit of a break here, even though you still want to firm it up so that it's protecting the spine. It's just not the target area. Okay, so shoulders, the first one we'll do is unlock the knees, come up to the shoulders, and then press up, come back down. Now I'm gonna keep my legs a little bit fluid with this. I'm gonna come up with, when I press up, I'm gonna stand tall. When I sink down, I'm gonna bend the knees so that I just have a little bit of cushion there and it feels like a more natural movement pattern. But often in the weightlifting community, we are firm, right? We're a statue and the only thing that moves is the arms. If you prefer that way, that's fine. You can also have 1 foot forward and 1 foot back if you prefer. Like I said, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to sink just a little bit. I'm not gonna call it a squat press because I'm not really going that low, but I'm just gonna make sure my bottom's moving up and down and get some cushioning through my body. So I'm gonna get some weights here. I would recommend lighter if you're inexperienced with this especially. And I don't mean experienced a while ago. I mean, if you've been training this, then maybe heavier resistance, fine. You determine what's safe for you. Elbows out just a little ways, sink down, and press. This is move number 1. So I'm finding I could probably have gone heavier than this. That's okay. Rather be safe than sorry, right? Weight should go straight up, but the eyes should be straight forward. Tuck the chin back, straight spine. You don't want to look left or right at me or a mirror or anything. So this is getting a lot of anterior deltoid, the front of the deltoid as we press up. A little bit of triceps. Slowing it up, slowing it down. All right, next up, biceps curls. Okay, so this one, I'm gonna alternate left and right today. 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, left and right like this. Okay, 1 up and 1 down, happening at the same time, but opposite directions. Okay, if you prefer simultaneous, both at the same time, that's fine with me. Do what works for you. I'm gonna have 1 foot forward though and 1 foot back for good front to back stability. Get a weight that works for you. Here's our timer. Shoulders back, chest up, 1 foot forward. Curling, opposite directions. Good work, good work. Eyes should stay straight forward. Don't swing the weights. If you're swinging the weights, it's probably too heavy or you're just going too fast. You want to slow it down, especially if it feels heavy. That'll improve the safety, but it'll also improve the effectiveness, right? Efficiency of the workout. You're kind of cheating some of the weights if you use momentum. This is move number 2 out of 3 for this circuit. And setting them down. Out of the way. Okay, next up, T's are out to the side. So our first shoulder move was more anterior deltoid, the front, where we pressed up. This is out to the sides, or T's. Now I'm gonna do the same thing I did before and get my legs involved just a little bit, right? Keeping the blood flow, keeping the cushioning in the legs. You can stand like a statue. Very popular, very common in the weightlifting community. I do it most of the time. Today, I'm sinking a little bit, right? Sinking and standing, down and up. I like the momentum today, so I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna go with light weights here because this is a tough move for heavier weights because the arms are so long. That lever is too long for heavy weights. Unlock the knees. Here's our timer. Out to the sides. No higher than the height of the shoulders, right? So you don't want them up here because things might pinch in the shoulders. Low is fine. In fact, I prefer partial range of motion, right? You don't get a lot more out of it by coming really high with the hands. So if it's not really worth it, right, I'd rather avoid a 3 week to 3 month injury and get a little less out of it today. That's fine. Avoid the injuries if you can. All right, this is move number 3 out of 3. We'll go back to move number 1 right after this. Tuck the tail. There we are. Okay, I'm gonna use those same weights here, but I gotta get my timer started and just show you really quick. Weights up with the shoulders, up and down with the hands. I'm going to move my legs a little bit of extra oomph there. Even though I want to hold a weight that is manageable for myself. Last time I thought these were kind of light. I might be able to increase my weights, but it's too big of a jump from those to my next one, so I think I am going to stay with my lighter ones today. I kind of need something in between, but I'll just squeeze the muscles more, right? Here's our 1 minute timer. Shoulders back, chest up, and press. The other reason I'm doing this little squatted version today is my ceiling is so short. Right? I probably look like a giant in here. I'm not that tall. I'm going to turn to the side so you can kind of see another angle. My elbows, you can see, are out about 45 degrees. They're not out perfectly to the sides like this. Okay, they're slightly forward. Tuck the tail, vertical spine. Almost there. And I'm happily getting worn out. This is great. Fatigue is good. Fight through fatigue, but don't push through pain. If it feels like an injury risk, come out of it. There's our timer. I'm going to set these down and out of the way. Our next move is alternating biceps curls. Here's our 1 minute timer. Counting now. She's counting down. All right, 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. Alternating. Make sure we're not swinging and swaying, right, like this. Okay, you're not going to get much out of that other than possibly an injury, so avoid that. Up slow, down slow. Make sure we're breathing. This is move number 2 out of 3 in our second round of this second circuit. Shoulders down, chest up. And there's our timer. Get those out of the way. Turn this off. And move number 3. Unlock the knees a little bit. Lateral shoulder raises. No higher than the height of the shoulders. I avoid this because I don't want to pinch anything in my shoulders. I prefer partial range of motion, lower weights for myself. Here's our timer. And lighter weights as well. Unlock the knees. Good control. You can do this with 1 foot forward if you prefer. Okay, 1 foot forward like this, or weight shifted forward. All these stances are okay. Just listen to your back and what's bugging it you want to avoid. Breathing. Give it a good exhale as you rise. Exhale as you rise. We're almost there. Final move for our upper body here. Good job today, everybody. All right, set those down. Shake it out, get a sip of water. Here's our formal rest break. My arms are feeling a little swollen in a good way. They've got blood flow, right? While you're taking a quick break here, go ahead and hit the like button so that this can be recommended to others as well on YouTube so that we can spread this exercise. All right, back to the workout. Next up will be a leg circuit. All right, make sure you don't have any tripping hazards. Shoes are tied. Shoes are tied. Nice and snug. You might have a chair available in case you want to use it for support. I'm going to try to really get my heart rate up here by moving through these pretty continuously. So if you need to keep jogging while I describe a move, you can keep doing that, or if you need to take more breaks, take more breaks. Our first move, okay? This is going to be a step back, squat, step forward. Step back, squat, step forward. The depth of your squat, entirely up to you, right? You might come really low, okay? You might go really shallow, okay? Listen to your knees and your hips. Don't plant your foot and twist your knee. It should be a gentle pressure on the floor, and then switch, okay? Doesn't have to be all the way back. It can be side to side a little bit more. Listen to your body and how it should move, and only you can know that, right? Here's our timer, and step back squat. The arms are here for balance. The arms are here to keep the spine upright, and the spine pretty straight. Okay, they are there so that we can shift our weight back by bringing our arms forward. All right. This is going to be a tough series. Legs, one after the other, is going to be a lot. So tough circuit in my mind. After this, I'm going to do reverse lunges. And if that doesn't feel appropriate for your knees and hips, I've got an alternative, glute extensions. I'll show you. All right, so reverse lunges. I like to get to a wall or some sturdy object, right? Hold on. As I step back, I tap the toe, but I don't necessarily tap the knee to the ground, okay? Instead, I come up just a little bit. You don't have to go that deep necessarily, right? It might be a small lunge. Listen to your body on your depth, but just don't crash your knee into the ground. Come up nice and slow, okay? If that doesn't work for your knees or hips today, do a hinge forward, straight spine, hold on to the wall, and then squeeze the glutes as the leg rises back. Squeeze the glute as the leg rises back. You don't need to fling it way high into the air. Just straighten it up with the line of the spine. And a third option, same move, but another kind of way to do it. Hands on the seat of a chair, straight spine, squeeze the glutes as the legs rise back. So you choose which one is the most accessible for you. I'm going to choose the reverse lunges because I feel like I get a little bit more out of them as far as calorie burn goes, as far as heart rate goes. But my knees and hips aren't bugging me right now. So if they were, I might avoid this one. Sometimes they are. Last year they were bugging me more. And I think I've made the right changes for myself and I've kind of rehabbed some of my irritations and strains in my hip. And it feels better now, so it can turn around. All right, trying not to smash the knee on the ground. Minimizing wear and tear. Vertical spine. Holding on to a wall. All right, there's our timer. Next up, tipping and kicking. Okay, this move has some trip hazard risk, so make sure you got nothing on the floor that you're gonna trip over. What we do is we tip left and kick right, tip right and kick left. Okay, that's the whole move. I like to add to it, and I add a squat to it. Here's what I do. Instead of just tipping and kicking, when I land with the foot, I add a little dip. Doesn't have to be a deep dip, but you do want to control the descent, right? Control the squat. As you land, don't stomp hard on the ground. Soften down, tip and kick. Soften down, tip and kick. I like to hold on to a wall. Whether or not I have any balance issues, I like to hold on to a wall. You could hold on to a chair, whatever is sturdy for you, okay? It's gotta be sturdy though. Here's our timer. Tipping and kicking. Adding a squat, if you like. And you don't have to add one every time, right? You also don't have to tip and kick that high. They could be low. They could be high, but I'm holding on to the wall either way. It's a controlled kick. I'm not flinging my knee out of place. All right, this is move number 3 out of 4. Our final move here is coming up. And I'm going to give 2 totally different options. All right, 2 totally different options. I'm going to do option 2 myself, but option 1 is like this. Vertical spine, right leg out for the glutes, left leg out for the glutes. If you get a lot of sciatic nerve pain, maybe avoid this one today because that can inflame the muscle, right? Swelling, and then press on the nerve. So if you want to avoid that today, maybe do the other one, but it is good for the glute strengthening. So leg out, leg out. That's way too fast though. You want to go slow and down. Slow and down. I also hold on to a wall for this. Vertical spine, not tipping and kicking. It's the opposite of the last move where we tip and kick. The one I'm going to do, totally different. Nice wide feet. Sink down. And I'm going to punch as I bounce. Okay? So this is for the legs. I'm just adding a little punch here to get my rhythm going. Okay? This is not really a big old arm move, but the heart rate will rise as we squat and bounce. Gonna be a lot on the quadriceps. You decide on the depth and what you can handle today. May be different week to week. Our timer's going. Sink down and a little bounce. All right, this is move number 4 out of 4 for this circuit. After this, we go back to move number 1, which is the squat with a step back squat. A lot of legs here. 4 leg moves, done twice. That's 8 minutes of legs. That's a bunch in a row. So you may need breaks. All right, almost there. Here comes our timer. A little bounce. Your body's responding to its own weight times gravity as it falls and catches itself. It's a lot. Oh boy. There's our timer. Shake out the legs. Shake out the legs. All right. Get a sip of water if you need. For those who want to keep on moving, right? I'm going to get right into it. It's step back, slow squat. Step back, slow squat. It doesn't have to be deep. Here we go. Timer's going. Good control. Kind of putting some weight into that back foot and then softly coming off of it so that it's not twisting. Arms are forward so that the spine can be back. All right, after this, reverse lunges or glute hip extensions. Right. There we are. You decide if you're going to do the reverse lunges or if you're going to hinge forward and squeeze the glutes as the legs raise. Here we go. If you need a break, take the break. I'm going to get moving. Squeeze and squeeze. All right, if you count this one, there's 3 moves left. It's this one, tipping and kicking, and one of the 2 that I gave options for, the leg abduction or the squat bounce with a punch. One of those 2. Easing it down, not smashing your knee on the ground, right? Avoiding wear and tear. I got plenty of miles left on these knees. I want to not mess them up if I can. Good work. Vertical spine, shoulders back, chest up. Avoiding left and right, so side to side mobility of the knee. So we don't want to buckle in or out with the knee. That's part of the reason we have the wall here, for good stability. Okay. Tipping and kicking is next. I'm going to get started. You can add a squat if you like. Almost done. This is our second to last move. Tip and kick. I like to hold on to a wall. I'm just facing you to demonstrate for a second. Hands can be here for stability. Slow descent down. Silently setting the foot down and squatting if you want to add the squat. You decide where your energy's at this late in the class. Tip and kick. So I am losing some balance here. I'm getting fatigued, which is not a bad thing, but I want to be aware of that, so I'm holding on to the wall. Because I just about tipped overboard to the right a second ago. All right, final move coming up. Shake out the legs. You guys rock if you made it this far. Oh my goodness. Okay, vertical spine. You decide if you're doing a slow hip abduction for the glutes, right? Or if you're gonna squat down, sink, and add a little bounce. And punches if you like. Okay, that's the one I'm gonna do. Here's our timer. Sink down to your preferred depth. It might be very deep, it might be very shallow. Okay. Vertical spine. Again, the arms aren't critical here. This is not an arm workout per se. This is just for a little bit of rhythm. In fact, if you just want to jog like this, that's fine with me. Still getting a lot of vertical bounce from the body weight. Up and down, up and down. Slowing it down maybe. Ooh, that's tough. Where's our timer out? We got 22 seconds left. Woo! If you got to take a break, you can take a few second break and jump back in whenever you're ready. Final push here. Fight through fatigue, but don't push through pain. Ever. Ever in these classes, I should say. There might be some therapy where you have to do that. I don't know, not here. Almost there. And, oh boy, come on out of that. Shake it out. Great work. We got a little stretch here. And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button so that you can see more videos and exercises like these. Thank you. If you need a longer recovery stretch, that's fine. You can watch one of the recorded videos right after this, but we'll do a quick stretch to cool down and to help everything heal so that we can get back to exercise faster. All right, shaking out the arms, shaking out the legs. Once again, great to have you guys today. Roll the wrists, bend and extend the elbows, roll the shoulders. A lot of the recovery stuff looks a lot like the warm-up. Roll them the other way. Gently turn the head. Okay, march the knees. All right, feet are apart, circles with the hips, just a couple times, and switch directions. Okay, let's stretch for a second here. I'm going to start at the top and work my way down. Right ear toward the right shoulder, just for about 10 seconds. Breathing in, the shoulders can shrug up. And exhale down. Fingertips down. Looking for a little bit of tension on the left side of the neck with my eyes forward. I'm not looking at the shoulder, I'm looking forward. Last one here. Breathing in, coming up. And exhale down, down, down. Come on up. Left ear toward the left shoulder. A little bit of tension in the right side of the neck. Nice deep breath. Exhale the fingertips down, down, down. Make sure the legs move a little bit so that we don't lock out the knees. And up with the shoulders. And exhale down, down, down. All right, come on up. Maybe look down toward the ground and rock the forehead left and right for a second. All right, back on up. Rolling the shoulders back a couple times, and then we're going to do down and across, up and back. This is a chest stretch. I'm only going to do about 8 of them. We'll move on. Down and across, up and back. It's slow, it's steady, it's controlled, right? It's not flinging back fast. It's kind of diagonal. Okay, I'm going to do 4 more. Here's 1. Here's 2. Down for 3. And the last one, 4. Switching sides, very slow and steady. Down and across, up and back. It's not like I'm pulling a lawnmower, right? Not trying to get the engine started. Good control. Nice angle as we come up and back. A little bit of tension right here and these muscles. All right, I'm going to go do 3 left. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, roll the shoulders. For the rhomboids in the back and a little bit of the shoulders here, clasp the hands together. And I'm going to push right, back to the center, push left. So these muscles pull the shoulder blades back, so to stretch them, I'm going to round the shoulders forward a little bit. Push, push. Requiring a little bit of intentionality with this. If you're really gentle about just kind of shaking left and right, you might not get much out of it. You got to lengthen out the arms, and there we are. Okay, diagonal, so V-ups, down to the center, up and out. These are for the lats, the back. Okay, hands together, nice wide feet. Come up and out, down to the center. Up and out, down to the center. Kind of doing a little bit of a side bend as we go. Move the hips and the ribs the opposite direction. I'm going to go 1 more on each side myself. Nice deep breath. And let it out. Okay, hip flexors, working our way down the body. 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. It's not a massive step, right? If it's too big, you're going to 1, strain something, and 2, not be able to tuck your tail because it's already going to be locked into a maximum motion spot. So a gentle step back or a moderate step back. 3 things: tuck the tail versus flaring the tail up. You want to tuck the tail, squeeze the glutes, and push the hips forward a little bit, kind of rocking in and out of that. Yeah, I got warm today. Okay, tip forward, switch sides. Tuck the tail, squeeze the glutes, rock in and out of it. All right, tip forward and march the knees a little bit here. Okay, for the hamstrings, working our way down the back of the legs. Hand on the wall, heel down, toe up, heel down, toe up. Okay, this is a hamstring swing, just a gentle swing. We're not trying to touch the toe, be a cheerleader, right? No ninja warrior. This is just a gentle heel down, toe up, a little bit of tension underneath each leg as we swing. Good work. All right, shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Coming down toward the calves. I like to push on a wall, but you could hold onto a chair and push as well. Heel down, pushing a little bit back. Kind of a little bit of a rock here. Okay. You might be able to see it in my hips, but you might be able to see it in this front knee actually also is doing a lot of movement. But it's just front to back, a little bit of movement for the back calves. These muscles down, back behind the knee and underneath. Switching sides. Again, if you need more stretching than this, and you might later today, tomorrow, you might check out one of those recovery stretches. The other recorded ones, yeah. And I'm planning on making more of those actually, so there will be a variety instead of just one. All right, coming up out of that, shake out the arms, shake out the legs. All right, everybody, I hope to see you again real soon. Until next time, bye-bye.